motivated every day is the fact that I have 2 girls to provide for, and when I wake up, I have the choice to be in a good mood and to enjoy my life, or I have the choice to be in a bad mood and not do anything with my life. And so I've just always made the choice to make the best of every situation. The best advice I've ever received in my entire life is from my father: do what you love and the money will come. I always encourage everyone, my kids, their friends, I'm like, just do what you love, because if you don't love what you do, you'll never be successful. A lot of hate, a lot of haters for the past 10 years, and it hasn't been easy. You know, I was on a show that was about women fighting and not about women celebrating, which was so much fun, and I'll never forget the time I had, but I received a lot of hate afterwards. I would be like, oh, I'm going to see what's on Twitter today, and I just, all these people just telling me I'm ugly and hideous and old and, like whatever I am is not good enough, and, that wears on you. Everyone's always like, oh, people must say how pretty you are all the time. I'm like, really, I am. Like, the only thing that I know is just people just saying like how much they hate me and how horrible I am. I stuck up for myself. And I think as a parent, even with my daughter, sometimes she was the bully, sometimes she was being bullied. And I just was, would sit her down and tell her what was appropriate and what was not appropriate. And I started off when they were younger with this thing called the Bensimon rules. And we had this code of rules and, what the family followed and what the protocol was and who we were and how we wanted to be perceived and what kind of legacy the Bensimons, want in the future. And part of that is being a good person and being a kind person. That's the advice you have to give to these kids. Don't tell them to shrug it off. Just go every day and be your best. And if people are going to come after you, let them. I was really insecure growing up as a child. I had a great normal upbringing, but for some reason I just had a tremendous amount of insecurity. I grew up when I was tall, my brother was tall, and none of my friend group was tall. I had like some learning issues when I was younger. We went from many schools. I started at one school, then went to another school, then went to another school, then went to another school, and I developed learning issues. I think that's one reason why I have an air of humility about me and why I'm so supportive of my friends and my family and people I work with, because I don't want them to ever have the feelings that I had. And so that's why I push them to be the best. Younger, again, I was a big swimmer, but I also, my mother loved to run, so I've run with her. And when I started modeling, obviously I wasn't swimming anymore, but I really needed that release. Your body just needs those endorphins and needs the serotonin. And so when you're used to swimming 4 hours a day every single day of your life, and then all of a sudden you stop and you start modeling and traveling the world, I needed that feeling. I was craving that feeling, so I started running every city. So wherever I was, whether it was Paris or Africa, I would literally run the city in the morning before I would go to work. That was amazing for me because I learned the city, and I had a different perspective of the city and the smell of the city and the way people, are in the morning, the things, their habits, their rituals. Like, I really learned the culture of every city just by waking up at 8 a.m. and running the city. It was incredible. Inner peace is everyday struggle. I don't think that there's many people that actually have inner peace. They may say they're peaceful, they may meditate, they may do all of these things which are so proactive, but I genuinely think that having inner peace is a lifelong struggle. And I think that's one reason why it's so important for a lot of people, because you never get to that pinnacle of really feeling like you're at one with yourself. Meditation, gratitude, kindness. And it's not just, you know, for an hour a day, it's all day long. But I'm never going to give up being kind. I'm never going to give up being thoughtful. I'm never going to give up being generous, because the more kind and thoughtful and generous that I am, the more will come to me. So it's just a constant journey, and I'm, you know, willing to try different things to be better.